Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Should Know This. I'm Luke. I'll be your host this evening, teaching you a little driving lesson. The playlist on this is called You Got Ripped Off because your driver's ed teacher didn't teach you right. So, I'm going to teach you how to drive and how to do speed limits correctly. Now, you see on your screen the Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, edition 2023. This is a 1,000-page book. It's $110. This is the manual put out by the Federal Highway Traffic Safety Commission on how to do traffic control devices street signs. They're called street signs. Now, the people in charge of your area, district, county, state don't want to go to jail and they don't want to get sued. Okay? No matter how stupid they are, they know they don't want to get sued or go to jail. They're not going to do something stupid concerning traffic control devices. They might do other stupid stuff. These are the prostitutes we're talking about. So let's see what we got here. They're gonna put up safe speed limits. Okay? They're not gonna put up dangerous speed limits. You put up a dangerous speed limit, you'll get sued, right? So they have requirements on how to put up speed limit signs and which ones to use. Okay, these are some of their choices. This is just a random section of them. Speed limit 50, trucks 40. So those are important. You need, when you see those, you need to check them and make sure that you're following what's posted there. Okay, if you follow what's posted there, you're safe. Okay, these are for dry conditions. I know one of you troll knucklehead morons is saying, well, what about when it's snowing? No, this is for dry conditions, or if it's been raining for a few hours. It's safe again. The first hour of rain is dangerous because the oil comes back up to the surface and it's slick for a few minutes. Okay, you see this street? Looking at this street, I'm telling you, it's 25 miles an hour. How do I know that? There's houses everywhere. There's little rugrat kids running around everywhere. They, if the city fathers made this 80 miles an hour, a bunch of kids are going to get killed and they're going to get sued. Okay? They're not going to make that a dangerous speed. They're going to make that about 25 miles per hour. It's a residential street. It doesn't go anywhere. It just loops back around to a major street. This is how you kind of look at it. Nearby, you have this street. This also has houses on it, but it's a major road. It's got a median there. You can barely tell from this picture. This road's got a median. It's 2 lanes each way. This one's going to be 35 or even 45 miles an hour, depending on the city. This city has this one at 35 miles an hour. Most cities would have it at 45 miles an hour because it's straight, flat, and it's between two places. Okay, that previous picture, let's go back there. This picture, this road doesn't really go anywhere. There's not a bunch of shopping centers on the other side of this road. There's just more houses. This one, you go this way, you get to shopping centers. You go this way, you get to the freeway, right? This is a through street. It's kind of a secondary street. So this is going to be 35 or even 45 miles an hour. It's not going to be 20, and it probably won't be 60 because there's houses there. Okay, this is near Kansas City. The 435 is what in Leavenworth, in case you're wanting to look it up a little closer. Looking at it from left to right, you got a gray road here, and then it turns yellow, and it's bright yellow, and there's yellow everywhere, and there's these angled lines, okay? It's very important you pay attention to this. To the right there, the road is yellow, but you got a gray road bumping into it in a T intersection, it's called. Over here to the far left, you have another similar type of T intersection. Okay? But then you get to this 435 and you got these angled on ramps, they call them. On ramps and off ramps. Okay? If you're on a road that has T intersections, the speed limit is going to be at maximum 55 miles an hour. Okay? That's a it's very difficult to accelerate to 80 from a dead stop. You got to come from a dead stop on these roads, right? But this 435 here, it's got these angles to it. It costs like $10 billion, I think. I looked it up somewhere. I thought it was $10 billion to add an on ramp to a surface street to connect it to the freeway. Your children and your children's grandchildren will be paying taxes for the rest of their lives to pay for these on ramps so that you can get up to speed before getting on the freeway. Or you can stay at speed before getting off the freeway. Okay? And I'm going to take a look at this cloverleaf exit here in a few minutes. That's that circle, see how it looks like a cloverleaf? That's called a cloverleaf exit. Okay, so let's look at some more things. I have a few more slides here to teach you. Okay, this is the on-ramp near that cloverleaf. It's just south of the cloverleaf house. Anyway, it's nearby. You see, reading left to right, you see that black station wagon? They call it an SUV, but it's a station wagon. That black station wagon, next to it is a yellow stripe. Okay, very important to you. Yellow stripe goes on the left. Yellow has two L's in it. What direction has an L in it? Left. The yellow stripe goes on the left. You see over to the right, you got that solid white stripe. White kind of rhymes with right. Yellow has two L's in it. Keep it on the left. If that's backwards, you're going the wrong way on the freeway. Okay? If you're not sure, if you're turning onto a street and you see yellow, keep the yellow on your left. Okay, now, this is nearing the end of the on-ramp. You see to the right there, those dashes are kind of short compared to the ones where we are. Well, that means we're nearing the end of the on-ramp. These people are supposed to be merging. Okay? Since it's an on-ramp, it has to be minimum 55 miles per hour. It can be over that. It can be over 80. Okay? It has to be minimum 55 miles per hour unless there's a construction zone. This is called a limited access highway. Okay? I know your driver's ed teacher didn't teach you this. It's a limited access highway. They put on ramps on there to limit the access. You have to accelerate to get there. Okay? There's some more laws coming here. Laws that the city fathers and the federal and state highway authorities have to adhere to. Now you see off in the distance there's a street sign over that white car that's near kind of in front of us. So let's cruise up there and see what we see. We are under the street sign. You still see the station wagon there. You can still see the stripes at the end of the on-ramp. Okay? Now, something else a lot of you don't know. When you get, I'm going back one slide, you see those little stripes for the on-ramp? When you get to those little stripes for the on-ramp, you can merge. You don't have to drag all the way to the end. You can merge if you're doing the speed limit and you have a space, you can merge. You don't got to go all the way to the end. Now, we're at the end. Okay? You see the street limit sign or the street sign that says Leavenworth Road, exit 115 or 15B. Okay? You see just below that, to the right of that white car, that's the speed limit sign. Yes, at intersections and at the end of on ramps, they are required to put a speed limit sign. If you're not sure where you're going or you forget, when you cross an intersection or you get to an on ramp, there's going to be a speed limit sign. It's one of the requirements. That's one of the laws. That's part of the law. they have to put a speed limit sign near intersections, including limited access highway on ramps. So when you're getting on the freeway, accelerate to at least 55 as quickly as you can and then get up to speed. Okay? Now, I know you're afraid something's going to happen. Let's get back to this spot. You're accelerating, you let's say you stomp the gas. As you're on that on ramp, you can look over to your left and see where the cars are that are already on the road. Pick one out. Try to match its speed real quick. If he's going a lot faster than you can keep accelerating. If he's going a lot slower than you, think about not accelerating as quickly, okay? Stomp the gas on the on ramp. That's what the 0 to 60 time is all about. You've heard 0 to 60 your whole life. That's what it's about. 60 is just a hair over 55. You need to get up to speed quickly. Now, where do you want to say you're getting on you're getting on this freeway? That speed limit sign, I look closer, it is 70 miles per hour. If you're getting on this on ramp, you can do 70 miles per hour at the beginning of the on ramp. You don't have to cross that dotted line at exactly the speed limit. You can accelerate to 70 way before that dotted line. Okay? There's people behind you waiting. Did you know that? Did you know as a member of society there are people around you? Okay, now you have accelerated to the speed limit. You're on the freeway. You see that speed limit sign. Okay, you can do that speed. That speed is a safe speed for the average maintained car. Yeah, that's it. If you're doing that 70 miles an hour, or if you're doing the 40 miles, whatever, if you're doing what's posted, you're gonna be safe. There's a little bit of leeway in there. Okay? You're not going to be doing twice the safe speed. Do the speed limit. Try to get close to it. Okay? If there's nobody in front of you and 50 people stacked up behind you, it's because you're not doing the speed limit. One tailgater, he's a butthead. 20 tailgaters, you're the butthead. You're not a good member of society. Okay? So you're on the freeway, you're cruising along, and you go to take the exit. This is the Leavenworth Road exit. This is opposite direction in case anybody's from that area. Yes, I moved it around, but you go to take that exit. You see to the right of that sign, there's a yellow sign, and it says ramp 25 miles per hour. This one you need to do 25 miles an hour on. Okay? Now, why do I say that? 25 miles an hour is the safe speed for bad road conditions. If you don't know that area and you go to take that exit, you can cross that dotted line. This actually has a decent amount of slowdown space. You cross that line at speed and slow down to 25 as soon as possible, okay? Don't slow down to 25 in the traffic lane. You're a dangerous person and you need a bus pass. Get over into the exit lane and then slow down to that recommended speed. Okay? Now, if you've been to the area and you know the area and you know your car, you can take it a little faster. Okay? There's no speed limit on the exit. But that exit is there so you can change speeds to the next speed. And because this is a sharp clover leaf, remember the clover leaf I talked about earlier? This is one of those clover leaves. And because it's sharp, you need to go at 25 the first few times you do it, because especially if you've never been on that one. It could be off camber and all kinds of crazy stuff. I have one near me that's flat. They somehow made a flat clover leaf. It must have been an Ohio driver designed that thing. It's a flat clover. Anyway, There's one that scares the tar out of me. The yellow sign with a curve on it. Okay? This road that could be on, it could be a 50-mile-an-hour road, right? And you'll see a curve sign or an S curve or a U turn like this, and it says 15 miles an hour. I don't care what car I'm in, I don't care the road conditions. I'm slowing down to 15 on this. These actually can be dangerous. Okay? If I've been through it a couple of times and I know my car, I might do 40 through there. But first time, I'm definitely doing 15 when I see one of those signs. Okay? So if it looks like a residential neighborhood, it might be 25, it might be 35, depending on what's on either side of that road. If it's a through road, it might be 35 or even 45. Those are kind of rare, though. If it's definitely a residential street with no center marking or no median, it's going to be 25 or even less. Okay? A freeway or a limited access highway, minimum 55. And that's usually just inside the city limits of some stupid town like Cincinnati. If you're downtown Dayton, it's going to be 55 probably. Some of them, it'll be 65. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, it could be 85, depending on the state. But you notice how all of those numbers were over 55? Yeah. You can go fast if there's an on ramp. Go fast up the on ramp. Get up to speed as quickly as possible. Don't stop. Merge safely. Drive the speed limit. And exit at the speed limit. Remember your grandkids paying all those taxes? They're paying those taxes so you can exit the lanes of traffic at speed. Okay? I'm sorry your driver's ed teacher ripped you off, but these are things you need to know. If you have questions, feel free to comment. I'll answer every one of them, even if you're an idiot troll who needs to argue with other people. Okay? I hope this helps you. Like, share, and subscribe.